The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, beneath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering my name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, sorry about the long intro there. We found an article and we're trying to bring it up. We're trying to get access to it. Because A, it's very important, and B, it's very important. But I might just have to do a screen share on that one, so hopefully it doesn't dox me. But let's jump into it. So guys, obviously you're wondering, hey, it's Tuesday, or Monday for most of yous. What's going on? So I went and saw Lauren Southern last night and wrapped my arm around her. And yeah. Oh, and I met Stefan too, by the way. But no, yeah, we had a photo taken together. I got an autograph for her and Steph. And I went up and I saw the show up in Brisbane. Suppose we probably ought to get this over and done with first. By the way, guys, we are obviously joined with Satellite of Discontent, as usual.
G'day, everyone.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the Lauren thing first? Quickly?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, alright. So Lauren did a show. So Lauren and Stefan Molyneux obviously were in Australia. Stefan Molyneux went first. He did a talk for about an hour regarding multiculturalism in Australia, the Aboriginal ancestry, and basically some little less than known facts. I won't go into too much detail because I do want to check these out. Because if they do, then obviously this is quite disconcerting. But yeah, he went on about the abortion rates in the Aboriginal culture. He went on about also going through and just basically telling some home truths on the culture that it's there. So yeah, obviously that was cool. Sorry about the title, guys. The titles is wrong. I apologise. I'm fixing it now. But yeah, then after that, after about 45 minutes to an hour, Lauren Southern came up and she was talking about multiculturalism in Australia. She talked about the Sydney event, which we also will talk about at the end of the show. That is definitely worthwhile people hanging around and listening to that. But yeah, and then basically her and Stefan sort of nailed home the point, I suppose, for lack of a better word, to basically say to people, look, at the end of the day, you don't have to feel guilty for anything. You haven't done anything. Let's shed this white guilt and let's be proud of what we accomplished. As he said, at the end of the day, guys, you've literally turned a desert wasteland into a city of lights. And I think he has a really, really good point on that. At the end of the day, I think Western culture or Western civilization definitely has a lot to be proud of. But yeah, it's apart from that, they did book signings. I've got both their books. That's here. Lauren's is The Barbarians: How Baby Boomers, Immigrants, and Islam Screwed My Generation, and Stefan's was The Argument, or The Art of the Argument. Both signed copies. I'll upload a photo to Twitter. Obviously, guys, follow me for that. But yeah, it was there'll be a photo of the autograph, not of me. Don't get your hopes up. But yeah, apart from that, at the end of the day, it was it was good. It was fun, and met a lot of interesting people, and had a chat to a few interesting people, and big police presence. There were more police than you can possibly ever imagine. Which is insane because I think about 30 people turned up to protest. That's all Antifa was able to rack up, was about 30 protesters. So yeah, kind of disappointing on their part, I suppose. But apart from that, I don't know, man. Do you have any questions, or do you have any questions people would want to ask?
Yep. Well, are they going to be able to justify that huge bill if there were no protesters showing up?
Well, the bill was actually for the Sydney event, and I also did meet Colin Robinson, Tony Robinson's cameraman. Tony Robinson's event or verdict comes out on Wednesday. So guys, obviously stay tuned for the channel for that, because obviously we will be talking about that when it comes out. But yeah, no, he was I said to, I'm not sure if it was Steph, Lauren, or him. I said to one of them, no, actually no, it was neither. It was Caleb's cameraman, actually, because Caleb's now doing the reporting while he has a cameraman. And they implied that the New South Wales Police Department can stick that bill somewhere that the sun don't possibly shine. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it was a really good night.
I think he handed the bill over to the guy from Sky News, and then he scrunched it up and put it in the bin.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Lauren, absolutely darling. She is so nice. Stefan is really nice too. I suppose I probably should talk more about him, but yeah, no, but they're both very lovely. They sat there for over an hour and a half signing autographs too, by the way. So yeah, it's like, yeah, it was, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And they did a whole Q&A, so after about talking for an hour each, they then did Q&A for about an hour. So yeah, it was a pretty decent length thing. It went from Actually, maybe Steph talked for about 45. She talked for about 45 or half an hour, I would say maybe. And yeah, then they did Q&A for about an hour and a half. So I left at midnight, and they were still signing books. And they were trying to get people through so they could go home. So yeah, that was kind of cool, I suppose. Sorry, questions? Do you have any questions or?
Yeah. I mean, do you remember anything very memorable about what Stefan said, or?
The Aboriginal stuff was kind of memorable, whatever. So at the end of the day, I remember that. He went on about abortions, about the fact that Aboriginal culture had around 40% abortions. How they used to carry out the abortions by beating babies over the head with rocks, or literally beating the baby over a rock, or leaving it in the older camps as they would move on, so that the baby would starve, dehydrate, or get eaten by a dingo. But yeah, he
makes a joke. The dingo finally got its baby.
Yeah, he didn't actually say that. He made reference to a joke
in the previous one.
Yeah, so I was going to say he made reference to making a joke about the baby getting the dingo finally, but
Yes.
he said that he wasn't going to do it this time because he thought it was a little bit rough, so he changed his mind on doing that joke.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video on our recording of him going through Aboriginal things.
Mm.
It might be the Sydney event, I'm not sure.
Mm.
And he said that joke.
Mm.
It's and it's on YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say, look, it was a really good night. I enjoyed myself, had a great time.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the night, I think it was definitely, look, parking was like $30. The tickets were about 80, and the two books I brought were 25 each, so that's 50. So all up, it cost me what, 200 or so? Probably.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad at all.
Not including petrol getting up there and flights and whatever it may be. So yeah, look, at the end of the day, yeah, it's just for a night out. Look, I think it was worthwhile, but
Did they have any drinks and food there?
there was a bar. I'm not sure if it cost you or anything like that, but I rocked up at around around 7 o'clock, which was about half an hour before it was supposed to start, and so I really didn't have much to eat or drink for that time. But that's how I did get Macca's on the way home. But I was going to say, but yeah, there were people with food and drinks and stuff there, so I'm not sure if they were paid for. I presume they were. But yeah, it was, I don't know. It was, like I said, it was a fun night, and I had a really good time. Guys, do you have any questions regarding anything from the night? Please feel free to type them out in chat, and while we're going through the videos tonight, or the articles tonight, we will answer any questions that you guys obviously have regarding that or anything else. Please feel free to obviously use the comment section. Super chats are active if you feel like it, but that won't stop us from answering any normal question anyway. So feel free to post them in chat, super chat them, whatever it may be. And apart from that, guys, is there anything else really, or just jump into it?
Oh, let's jump into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of articles tonight, guys, so and we're going to fly pretty close to the sun, so we might want to check with engineering just to make sure the shields are at 100%. But
yeah, the shields. I'm being Scotty is reporting the shields are at 100%.
Sweet.
We're good to go.
All right.
And we do have some power in reserve.
Okay.
Probably.
All right. Cool. All right. So let's jump into it. Let's start a little easy, and let's start with a little derangement syndrome. So Maxine Waters, Trump is baffling and bullying on government shutdown over border wall. So, this is going to be a little bit of an article where I went, nah, I told you so. Because about 3 to 6 months ago, earlier in the year, I turned around and I said, so what was there when I said it? I believe I was talking to the Croatian, and I said that Trump was going to threaten a government shutdown if he didn't get the money for his border wall. director, this is the part where you go, oh shit, he was right. But anyway, let's jump into the story. So, Sunday on MSNBC's Live, Republican Maxine Waters said that President Donald Trump was baffling and bullying with his tweet today, threatening a government shutdown if the wall on the US-Mexico border was not funded. I would be willing to shut down government, and I believe I used those exact words, Director, if the Democrats do not give us the votes for border security, which includes the wall, must get rid of lottery, catch and release, etc., and finally go to the system of immigration based on merit, in capitals. We need great people coming into our country. So Waters said, you know, this president is bullying and he will try and intimidate all of us. He is not going to shut anything. It's a matter of fact. People will remember that he said he was going to build the wall and this is going to make Mexico pay for the wall. He said they weren't going to pay for anything. Now he wants American citizens to pay for the wall. American citizens are not going to pay for the wall. He is not going to shut down the government, and we're not going to be intimidated by this baffling and bullying. I added the crying part at the end. Okay, so can Trump shut down the government? Yes, they can. He can do it.
He can, but
in the right circumstances.
That is a legit thing. He
Sorry?
said that Mexico was going to pay for it. Now the Americans are going to pay for it. That's actually a legit issue.
Well, okay, so playing devil's advocate on this, and let me go against the, play the other aspect. He's always said that Mexico will pay for it, yes. And what if America pays for it now, and then they put tariffs on Mexico to recoup the costs?
Well, we'll have to see how that goes. But I do remember him saying that Mexico was going to pay for it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, to be honest, me personally, I would still class that as them paying for it. If he can, and he can do that, he can put tariffs on it, and he's actually said that in the past. When they asked him what happens if Mexico won't pay for it, his response was simple: "We'll put tariffs on them until they do." So,
yeah, and I suppose another thing too is that it does building the wall does give a lot of jobs to Americans. It does. It is a what do you call that? Construction project.
Yeah. Infrastructure.
Infrastructure projects are great for your country. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, do I think he'll get Mexico to pay for the wall straight up front? Probably not. But I do think he will be able to go through and get them to pay for it at the end through tariffs or whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, I think that would be the best way to get them to pay for it.
Any word on how much it's actually going to cost?
The wall of depending who you ask. Yeah, it's not going to be cheap. But I'll tell you now, sure, it's going to be a lot cheaper than socialized systems and socialized government that Bernie Sanders wants to bring in. So
it will. It will, because it creates taxes and all that for it.
By the way, another story we're going to cover. By the way, yeah, keep going.
Okay, good. Now I'm just thinking, like, it depends what they build it out of. My assumption is that it's probably going to be concrete based, like concrete, something like that. It's not. I mean, that stuff is expensive. They could also play with some automated machinery. It might take a few years to build it too.
Yeah.
You realize the border is massive. Like,
yeah,
this wall will probably be visible from satellites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I would say that at the end of the day, he will finally get him to pay for it. And at the end of the day, I think it'll be through tariffs or something like that. But
actually, there is somebody in Mexico who can afford to build this wall, and it's the guy who used to own the Sinaloa cartel.
Mm.
Only the world's richest drug dealer.
Yeah, well, he won't build the wall because he profits from not having a wall.
Yes.
By the way, guys, just a quick update to Stefan Molyneux has also met the Arm of Peace. That has literally happened 16 hours ago. I'm just going through Twitter as we talk, and yeah, it's he did actually.
Oh, is that
meet him.
Imam Tawhidi?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, that would be a very interesting fly on the wall conversation to have. Yeah.
You don't say.
No.
Oh yeah, that would. I'm hoping maybe it was recorded or something, or maybe there's a public version of the conversation. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, at the end of the day, I think that they might have done an interview. I presume that they have interviews. But yeah. So.
Yeah, usually when Stefan goes on these trips, he does do interviews for his channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably watch that one.
Same as Lauren. Lauren's been doing a little bit of work too while she's here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate these two guys coming to Australia. We do need this sort of thing going on.
Yeah, well, if it hadn't been for Lauren, I probably wouldn't have known about that situation in Sydney. I didn't know about...
no, me neither. I didn't know about the Lakemba issue.
Lakemba, yeah. So...
And when I found that 7 or 8 year old television thing on Today Tonight, was it?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah, 2011, I think you said it was.
Yeah, it's like back when I actually used to do real reporting.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, apart from that, look, I think we're pretty much exhausted this topic. You want to jump on the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. By the way, Greg N says awesome in chat. I think that was in regards to me going up and seeing Lauren. But anyway. Okay, so another one. Lesbian teacher, 27, had sex with a 15-year-old girl and even broke off her engagement to her fiancé so she could move in with her former pupil. Boy. Interesting, isn't it? Let's jump into this story.
Yeah.
A female teacher crossed the line by engaging in an inappropriate relation with a student for over 2 years while the young girl was still attending school. The Queensland Civil and Administrative Tribunal heard that when the student was in year 12, the teacher broke up with her longtime fiancé to pursue the relationship. It's believed the woman, who cannot be named for legal reasons, began a sexual relationship with the former pupil soon after the girl completed year 12 and they moved in together. The teacher is now 27 and is not allowed to reapply for registration of permit to teach until May 17, 2022. The tribunal heard that the teacher was in her early 20s and the student was only 15 when the relationship began. The Courier Mail reported. It's believed that the needed student was under the care of the child safety and living with a foster parent at the time. It's alleged that the teacher and the girl were involved in a personal conversations as the teacher was her pastoral care advisor. Although she denied having a sexual relationship with the teacher, the tribunal found that she was interested sexually in the ex-student when she was in her final years of school. It was found that the teacher would go out of her way to flirt with the student, and the pair shared an intimacy unlike a normal student-teacher relationship. The pair had plans to move in together from the mid-2016 when the student was still in school. The student told her child safety officer that she was thinking of moving in at the Queensland teacher's parents after graduation. Now, although the teacher had warnings from colleagues not to build a relationship with the vulnerable student, the teacher crossed the appropriate boundaries by discussing personal matter and exchanging gifts with the student. Her teacher found the student in whom she had sexual interest, the tribunal said. It was the teacher's duty to protect the student due to her troubled past, yet the tribunal said the teacher exploited her vulnerabilities for the intimate relationship. When the pair went to school camp in 2015, they requested a shared room, but were refused permission. Oh boy, that probably should have been alarm bells. And yeah, concerns began to rise among colleagues. The teacher and student began a lot of time together. Plans came into fruition in late 2016 when the student and teacher moved into the teacher's parents' home. Months after moving in together into February of 2017, the teacher was introduced in the former student as her partner. Just a month later, the 27-year-old told friends that she would now be identifying as a lesbian, and the teenager was her partner. The teenager denied the relationship, but the tribunal found evidence that the romantic and sexual relationship had been developed, and that after they began to live together. At the teacher's tribunal on July 2016, when she was banned from reapplying for registration, if she wishes to apply before this date, the teacher must obtain a psychological report that says she's aware of the difference between personal and professional relationships and boundaries. The 27-year-old teacher was also ordered to pay Queensland colleagues of teachers $2,500 costs. So no jail time, by the sounds of it. Oof, boy.
So this was a female teacher with a male student?
No, female teacher, female student.
Okay. And no jail time.
No.
Interesting.
Oh boy. Judging from this, the teacher started a sexual relationship after the student left school. According to them. But the fact that she wants to have a shared room with her a year before, that to me is, yeah, not really. Yeah.
So my guess as to why there's no jail time is, well, the perpetrator is female, and there's a thing called a pass or something pass,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the other part where it's the LGBT community would probably see it badly.
Yeah,
And
so
then
they're
the
afraid
third
of.
thing is that we also have the MAPS movement going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, as much as I hate this, if there was nothing going on, and I mean nothing as in no kissing, licking, fingering, whatever it may be, when she was at school, then at the end of the day, if the girl was 16 or older, it's legal age.
It is legal age if she's 16 or older, yes.
Yes. If she was under 16,
So-
then it's illegal. And that's
Yeah.
when I start... Look, I don't like it. I don't like when teachers start boning their students. Unless I'm the student getting boned.
Mm.
But regardless. But at the end of the day, yeah, yeah, especially when it's like female students, they tend to start getting very attracted to... Like, if it's a guy, I could make an exception maybe for them sleeping with students, teachers, and not... Although that's just too messy, and no, fuck that. Yeah.
No, I'm the kind of person who sees it as young boys or young girls in school. It's equally as bad to me for a teacher to be having relations with a student. I don't give him a pass, even if it's a
Yeah.
boy. Even if he says he likes it. Like this whole idea to me that, oh, I wish this happened to me when I was in school. Like for boys, men saying that, I just see them as, no, that's disgusting. And it's still damaging mentally. I
Yeah.
don't like it either way.
I think at the end of the day, when you're 16, 17, 18, depending on how old you are and what school grade you're in, whatever, I could make the argument that an 18-year-old, 17-year-old could have an intimate relationship with a female and not feel anything. That's where I was going to go with that. But at the end of the day,
Oh no, yeah,
yeah.
I'm okay with it being over age. I was saying about underage, like a 12-year-old boy with like a
Oh no, no,
25-year-old
yeah,
teacher.
definitely no. Yeah, if you're underage, no, definitely illegal. Yeah. Um,
And
but yeah,
yeah, and it's just not. It's not just the legality, but it's the fact that you're doing damage to a student
yeah,
mentally.
yeah.
You know.
Um, yeah, 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 I don't know what to say on this one, to be honest, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm not the most tolerant person with this sort of stuff anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm more tolerant when it comes to this sort of stuff than you, and you know, I'm sitting here scratching my head, going, well, you know, really, do we want to do this? So, you know, if I'm starting to sit there and think, ugh, you know, then, and I'm the tolerant one, so like, shit, you know, like, yeah, it's really saying
Yeah.
something when that happens. But yeah, let's jump into the next. Unless you have something to say on
we
this.
leave.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think we leave the kids to have their girlfriends or boyfriends with the other kids.
Yeah.
I think we just leave it alone and just stay out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I would agree with that. But anyway, let's jump into the next story because, guys, there's so many stories tonight and we've got videos and everything to go through. So let's jump into it. Economics. Oh, I'm mispronouncing that. Economist. That one. Sorry, it's late. I'm tired and I'm hungry. CNN is fueling a civil war. I wouldn't say it's just CNN. I think it's kind of mainstream media, if you ask me. But moving along. The damage CNN is doing to the country and the world is beyond descriptive. So, the economist Martin Armstrong has accused CNN of fueling a civil war in America by acting as political propaganda network. Armstrong is known for successful predicting in the 1987 Black Monday crash, as well as the 1998 Russian financial collapse. In reply to a reader who expressed confusion as to why CNN refused to give Trump credit for the economy, North Korea, and the trade deal with Europe, Armstrong said CNN's agenda was really becoming blunt. America's GDP growth is 4.1%. Okay, well, we don't have to worry about talking about that story later today. Which is about twice that of Europe. Trump's hardline threats on tariffs has yielded the first real new fair trade deal with the European Union. North Korea is actually returning the remains of our fallen American soldiers, which have made huge difference to many families, wrote Armstrong. He added that the hysteria over children being separated from their families at the border, a policy that predated Trump, shows how corrupt CNN has become, acting as only a political propaganda network. The damage CNN is doing to the country and the world is beyond descriptive. My greatest concern is they are fueling a civil war, warns Armstrong. He noted that Trump has ensured that people will not satisfy with a career politician any longer, and we witnessing the Trump revolution around the world and even with the Democrats. Armstrong said that Trump should call the media's bluff and reinstate the fairness doctrine so that CNN would be forced to cover both sides of the issue, which would in due course end of this reign of propaganda. As we have repeatedly highlighted and have reiterated ourselves as the activist As we have repeatedly highlighted, having reorientated ourselves as the newly activist organization to sabotage Trump's presidency, CNN is now openly lobbying Facebook and YouTube to silence its competition. Last week, CNN claimed InfoWars had engaged in hate speech and advocated child endangerment in attempts to have Google and Facebook shut down our channels. Just an update on that, guys. By the way, the articles that they linked, they were talking about the crisis actor when it comes to the fact that with David Hogg and the Florida kids. Even people have turned around, and even the Facebook and whatnot have admitted that InfoWars did not say that the kids are a bunch of crisis actors. So literally every time somebody says that, you can turn around and say, no, that has actually been debunked. They did not say that. All they were simply saying in the video was that at the end of the day, the kids are being propped up by people with an agenda. That these are kids from a drama class who have good skills in speaking and public speaking, unlike me. And at the end of the day, are able to go through and are being used as weapons in a propaganda war. So, yeah.
The shields are down to 30% after you just did that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So that's, dude, you wiped out 70% in one swoop. Look, yes, I agree with you on all of that. That's the thing. And CNN, they are fueling a civil war, and when it comes to the right, half of them want to accelerate it as well. And so every time CNN...
just saying we're down to about 30% on the shields, so just, yeah. Be careful here. Yeah, keep going.
Oh, yeah, I know. So when the right wants to do accelerationism, they like the fact that CNN and the rest of these keep just pushing these fake narratives, and you're just throwing more coal into the fire, and just let's get the coal flowing, you know?
Yeah.
How much of that I agree with? Not all the time. Sometimes I think we should try to save the world instead of just, watching the world burn and burn it all to the ground.
Yeah, I would very much like to save it, not burn it, but yeah.
But, then again, sometimes the idea that if you raise it all to the ground, we can build it back up, True. When we can build it back up properly this time. The thing is that who do we have to lead it during Reconstruction phase?
Trump.
Trump is okay, but, I mean, the idea of having the philosopher king.
Yeah, people are thinking that Trump is that Lord and Emperor. I don't think he is. But look, at the end of the day, do I think that CNN is fueling a war or a civil war? Yeah, I do. I think that they are going through and basically just, trying to get the left to attack the Republicans. I don't think this is going to go how CNN is thinking this is going to go. You're pissing off a bunch of people at guns. That this isn't going to end well. Stop it, CNN.
No. Yes, and I mean, I'll pick my words carefully again. We know that if this kind of war was to break out in America, we kind of know who has the guns, and we know who's more likely to have a high victim rate. It's not going to end well for the left.
No.
I don't think it would. No.
No. So just before we jump to the next story, messages in chat. Obviously, you're in there. I'm in there. Don't forget to smack a like. Yeah, obviously, guys, if you do think this video is helpful, you do like the video, please smack that like button, because obviously the more people we have watching, the more we can get demonetized from YouTube, because we cover these sort of topics. But anyway, Sex Ed, it's... So what is it? Sex Ed, the something is connected to the hood. The hood is connected to the left. Okay, funny. It muted. It's changed your word there. I'm thinking it's supposed to be CLIT.
Oh yeah, autocomplete.
Yeah, auto change.
I'm fine, posting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Greg, and the point there, conservatives and the right are not as violent, and this is true. So the left is always the one, we know in Australia too, the antifas. They're always the one committing the violence. But the thing is that the conservatives and the right, it's just they're not violent right now because they want the left to start it so that they are fighting back. The thing is that when they fight back, they're gonna fight to win.
Yeah.
And the left I don't think they have what it takes.
No, look, at the end of the day, the fact is that, and this is obviously made very, very clear over in the UK, there was 2 protests or 3 protests in 2 days. There was the anti-Trump rally and the anti-something rally, I think it was. And they were both leftist ones. And then there was the right one, which was the pro-Trump rally, which was held the next day. The anti-Trump rally, no conservatives protested the protest. No one turned up to beat people or anything like that. And at the end of the day, the next day, when the pro-Trump rally was going on, why, wouldn't you know it, love and behold, who should turn up? They literally turned up to protest the Trump rally the day after that no one bothered turning up to what protest there. So, look, at the end of the day, yeah, I would say, yeah, the left is definitely more violent. We know that. But conservatives have got the guns and they know how to use them. This is not going to end well, CNN. Stop it before you kick something off you don't want to start. It's not a threat, by the way, YouTube, all right? Just saying.
Yeah. My personal theories are that it's going to happen anyway, and my theories is that it's 2020.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, at the moment, everybody is saying Trump's going to win. Everybody's going to win 2020. And I hope he does, because he does an amazing job for America. But at the end of the day...
I tend to think the left is going to start it because of 2020. I don't think they're going to accept another election, another term.
That's what I was going to say. The 2020, if he wins 2020, it's going to be great for America. Great thing for it. But I tell you what, the derangement syndrome... Dude, it's going to go nuts. They're already going nuts now. They're the most sane thing the left have done over the past 3 months is fly a big Trump baby balloon. That's the most sane thing they've done. That's really saying something. Like, they're screaming at the sky. They're claiming Russian collusion and conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory, which is real rich because they used to call the right conspiracy theories central, but regardless. And
they have the gall. The gall to call us conspiracy theorists when you've got people who are proving our conspiracy theories, we prove them.
Yeah, well, I've covered stories and we won't get onto because the shield's already around 30%. From, just basically going through and talking about some of the things that have been proven successful over the past few days. Guys, you might want to check out some of those videos because, oh boy! By the way, Mr. Epstein, I do not want to go on your plane ride with you. Just saying that. But look, at the end of the day, let's jump into the next story because I think the shields are down to around 25% now.
Yes.
Yeah. New York Times publisher to Donald Trump, stop calling us fake news. Why? Because you are. That's all I have to say on that story, but let's keep going into it. The New York Times publisher A.G. Sulzberg, don't mention it, confirmed a meeting with President Donald Trump, revealing on Sunday that he urged the president to stop calling the media fake news. Then stop lying. It's not freaking hard. I told him, though, although the phrase fake news is untrue and harmful, I'm far more concerned about him labeling journalists enemy of the people. Okay, fake news is not untrue. It is true. There is fake news in the mainstream media. Get over it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
Fake news is the enemy of the people.
Yes, Trump is right when he says this. And I'm sorry, we're not listening to you. Even if Trump stops calling you fake news, we won't. Every time you lie, I use the hashtag fake news for a reason. But let's keep going off this anyway. Trump revealed the meeting first on Twitter, noting that he had interesting meeting with Sulzberg, spent much of the time talking about the vast amounts of fake news being put out on the media and how that fake news has morphed into a phrase, enemy of the people, he wrote. Sad. Zilzberg said he urged Trump to stop vocally attacking journalists, warning of threats and possible violence as a result. The last article we did was CNN fueling a civil war, right? You there? So?
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes.
So, last article was CNN fueling a civil war, where they're going through and trying to start a civil war, right? Through their publications.
Yeah.
And the very next article is about the New York Times saying that Trump, calling them fake news and enemy of the people, can lead to actions, violence, whatever it may be, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, if Trump calling them fake news and enemy of the people is causing actions, or going to cause an action, what would the CNN articles that we'll have that the InfoWars article on CNN, what would that do?
I'm not sure.
So we've got mainstream media saying, don't call us fake news, don't call us enemy of the people because it might start something, and then we've got a previous article about CNN and fueling a civil war. I find it very rich for anybody that hasn't got the hint that I'm really hammering home here, that mainstream media, which has literally just been accused of a propaganda network, CNN, is writing articles to fuel a civil war, and then another publication, New York Times, which is, I believe, owned by the same company, is now saying, but Trump, don't attack us, because if you do, it might start a war.
Okay, I have two theories. My first theory is, well, maybe what the left needs to do is stop trying to fuel a civil war.
Or
However,
listen to their own advice.
Yeah. My second theory, and this is playing devil's advocate and kind of like a centrist point of view, the right and the left are both doing the same thing. Trump and the left are both trying to fuel a civil war.
True. I think
Now,
what Trump is
Trump
doing
has-
is a lot less.
Probably. See, the thing is that, and oh boy, there are certain people around Trump that would be the same sort of people in the media. Now, if history shows certain wars like World War II, there's a certain someone who is kind of, funding both sides. This could be the same thing.
Yellow. Yes, engineering. The shield's at what? 5% now. Oh shit! Sorry, what were you saying?
So, if there's people around Trump and people in the media, trying to
keep
feel
going,
the same thing.
because we've got 5% left on our shields, and we haven't even got to the fun stuff yet.
Okay. So I think you get what I'm saying.
Yes, I get exactly what you're saying. Yes, 5%. Look, at the end of the day, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But what I do find is very, very funny is that mainstream media is literally accusing Trump of starting a civil war because he is, quote, claiming they are the enemy of the people, while they constantly attack him. They are literally doing the same thing that he is doing to them. In fact, they are doing it more so. So, I'm like, what? You're shitting a brick? Really? You haven't noticed you're doing the same thing that we literally just claim you do? But anyway, moving along. At the end of the day, Trump calling mainstream media fake news, enemy of the people. Look, enemy of the people is a little bit harsh, maybe. But yeah, definitely calling them fake news. I'm sorry, they are fake news. If you want people to stop calling you fake news, then at the end of the day, stop being fake news.
That is a good statement. Yeah.
Yes, that is literally all you have to do. If you want Trump to stop attacking you, then for the love of God, stop giving him something to attack you with. Stop making things up. Stop making up this whole koi fish ponds bullshit. And, and all this Russia collusion, which to this day we still have no evidence of. We're not interested in... Sorry?
There's an article showing that Hillary has Russian collusion and was funded by a Russian.
That's Hillary. We don't want to talk about that. All right? We're the mainstream media. We're not going to cover things that Hillary might have done wrong. Now let me go and email on a private email server. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, Jason's here. Yes, Jason, yes, we realise. But look, at the end of the day, the fact is, yeah, look, at the end of the day, Hillary has done collusion with Russia. There's a lot of evidence for that. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of evidence for the things like, for example, the email server and Benghazi and everything else that she has done wrong. But let's move on because we haven't even got to the good stuff yet. Oh, but we just hit it. Don't worry. How are those shields holding up?
Yeah. And apologies for the stuff I said there. So I should be more careful.
No, that's right. I get what you mean, yeah. But anyway, let's moving on. I don't think we've really got too bad so far. But, we're about to go ahead. We're about to go balls deep, people. 8 drunk men gang rape and then kill pregnant goat.
I think the pubes on my balls just burnt off.
After stealing it from shed in India.
Oh my god.
Bad. Bad.
That's really bad.
Alright, so inmate...
Okay.
8 men accused of gang raping a pregnant goat with such brute force that it later died from his injuries are being hunted by the police in nice name for a country town. Northern India. The men reportedly stole the goat in the village outside of Nut, some 45 miles south of New Delhi on Wednesday, beat the animal and took turns in sexually assaulting it. Oh boy. The owner of the goat claims that he caught the men in the act and together with some of his neighbours was able to restrain and thrash 3 of the alleged culprits before they fled. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Shockingly, the pregnant goat pictured after the died was allegedly assaulted. Asep Khan, a 27-year-old truck driver, told local media that he and other villagers have gone looking for the goat after noticed it missing and found the men raping the animal. My goat was injured and laying on the ground and was not even able to walk, he told. Oh boy. It took home and applied medicine. Sorry, I took it home, applied medicines on the wound on its head and nose, and did not eat anything for the next day, and it was laying as if it was paralysed, probably with fear. He told news website that one of the alleged attackers had come to visit him while he was caring for his dying animal. Oh, but anyway, oh boy. He laughed and said that he and his friends had a nice time that night, which made me furious. Mr. Khan said he lashed out at the man who fled his home. When the goat died a few hours later, Mr. Khan filed the police complaint. A veterinarian examined the goat and found the animal had died of brain hemorrhage and had blood in the windpipe, in her windpipe. Local police said they had high hopes of locating the culprits. Thing to
That's
do.
a pretty rough
while
sex. Damn.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking the actual injury might have happened after or before. Like they were trying to sort of encourage it to come with it, and losing their temper and beat it over the head to knock it out or something. Maybe I don't know, but I've never sodomized a goat. I can't say. It's not on my bucket list. I don't know about you, but yeah.
No, goat sex is not one of my life goals. No.
No. Things you do when you're drunk? Like, this is all I can think of.
Yeah.
Is just, yeah.
Yeah, he's just saying, you know, we've all done some crazy things while drunk, but not fuck goats, no.
Yeah, no. I've never done any of that stuff. I don't know what to say about this. That they were a bad plan. It's all I can think of, really, to be honest. But you know, it's a goat. Poor thing. We'll jump into we'll do a couple of comments before we kick off on the next video. Jason, yeah, okay, I've already read that. Jason Fry, thank God it wasn't the Kiwis. Yeah. Although it was a goat and not a sheep, so there's a difference. Greg, come on, we've all done some things crazy when tanked. Yeah, but never hooked up with a goat. Hooked up with a wildebeest that had 2 legs and called me darling. And in my defense, I was very drunk at the time, but yes, never goats. Greg,
Well, it was human at least.
yeah, it was, well, yeah, possible. She's probably a feminist now, but anyway, moving along. This is really sick, poor goat. Yes, totally agree, Greg. Poor goat. I don't know what to say about the poor goat. Satellite, and you wrote the peeler wants his goat back. I don't get it.
The Peller. It's a Witcher 3 joke.
Oh,
the
okay,
Peller
cool.
wants his goat.
Okay, I've never played The Witcher 3 actually, so yeah. All right, how's those shields going?
It's pretty good. They're starting to charge back up.
All right, sweet. Okay, let's see if we can fix that. Turkish televangelist taunts a caged kangaroo by throwing punches at the animal while it swiftly dodges his blow. Moving along. This is the moment a Turkish televangelist taunted a caged animal by throwing punches at the frightened animal. Footage posted on social media shows... Just pausing the video. Tuna Kanavith, might be mispronouncing, a self-styled prophet lunging at the animal at a zoo in Turkey. At one point, he grabs the top of the fence and attempts to headbutt the marsupial, while someone filming it can be heard chuckling in the background. But the animal stands its ground and repeatedly dodges cleft blows, ducking its head in an attempt to avoid being hit. So, the clip is understood to have been captured on the 28th of July at a zoo in Turkey. Kadev claims that Medini, might be mispronouncing, who some Muslims believe is the Remediah of Islam and will rid the world of evil before the day of judgment. Really? He's going to, do that when he can't even beat up a kangaroo, apparently. Good luck with that theory, but anyway. Yankee Kanaf said, and by the way, I'm not encouraging anyone to beat a kangaroo, okay? Just saying. Yenov Kani said the fact that kangaroos look smarter is causing to question humanity. Yeah, well, I don't blame you on that one. Moving along before we go getting into the comments. It seems the kangaroo was initially upheld and then decided the man was just a lunatic, so it didn't hit back. Can Genghis added. So look, at the end of the day, we do have the video, and we'll play that for the guys playing at home now.
Sure. Just try to move. I just try to scroll a bit less. You're killing the stream a bit there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I just killed the stream. Actually, it might have been because of the fact I played the video. Yeah. Let's just not go full screen. The kangaroo looks like it's going to have a go at him, eh?
Oh, yeah. I don't think the kangaroo is phased by it.
No, not now.
Huh. I would laugh if the kangaroo jumped over the fence and ripped him to shreds, but anyway.
It could easily jump that fence, couldn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Look, at the end of the day, what's my view on all this? He's a piece of shit. Trying to beat up an animal inside a pen. Just for what? Shits and giggles? I don't know. Not to mention the fact that the kangaroo could rip him apart easily.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, idiot.
Look,
Look at
obviously,
me, I'm tough.
yeah, and look, at the end of the day, you know, at the end of the day, you do got to ask, if this is the respect they have for animals, it makes you wonder what they respect for other people, doesn't it? Just saying that.
Mm.
Alright, apparently all of a sudden my stream died again.
Yeah, it's back on now.
Yep, okay. Interesting that we start talking about this and all of a sudden the stream dies, isn't it? Let's jump into the next article and let's see if we can recharge those shields a little bit, because this is just kind of funny. Crocodile handler is attacked by crocodile in front of horrified spectators after putting his arm inside the beast's mouth in Thailand. Okay. If you say so. Yeah. Shits and giggles. I got no idea. So let me go through. This moment, the reptile hunter was attacked by a crocodile in the front of horrified spectators after he put his arm inside the creature's mouth. The handler is a 45-year-old man named Tadu, who performed the stunt at the I got no idea how to pronounce that one, guys. I really do. Zoo in Chiang Ria in North Thailand, in front of 100 people on Sunday afternoon. As he reached inside the crocodile's jaw, whilst another keeper looked on, Taranko looked at the audience and told the announcer to stop the music. Then the reptile suddenly clamped down and told Taram's forearm, clamped down around Taro's forearm before shaking him and violently from side to side. Did he actually lose his arm? So the keeper was heard letting out an agonizing scream before managing to free himself and staggering away with blood dripping off the wet tiles. The incident was captured on camera by Khan Pakwet, might be mispronouncing, 35, who was visiting the crocodile farm and zoo with his wife and their 2 children. The show was very good until that happened. I hope the man is okay and he gets better soon. Everybody was shocked when it happened. The kids were a little scared. He added, I've watched the clip back many times to see how it happened. The crocodile seems to not like having the hand in its mouth. Well, you know, duh. Dong Waddell, might be mispronouncing, the owner of the crocodile park, said on Monday that the trainer who had been bitten was treated at the farm and is fine. He was treated at the farm with bandaging, Mr. Whitman said. He loves crocodiles and he'll be working again soon in the next 2 weeks. It's very rare for this to happen. So look, at the end of the day, I would say lucky he didn't die. He's lucky he didn't get his arm ripped off. And I think the crocodile may have been giving him a little subtle warning to say, hey, get your arm out of my mouth. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think this was a warning.
It's not
I don't
easy
think
to be a crocodile handler.
No, I don't think this is. I don't think the crocodile was actually trying to kill him. I think this is just a warning. So yeah, I think this was just a warning to you know, get your effing hand out of my mouth and I'll bite it off. And
yeah, I mean, if it wanted to bite his arm off, it would have.
Yeah, would have been gone by now. Yeah. Let's jump into the next story, guys. Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All bill estimated to cost $32.6 trillion, the new study says. Oh, interesting, isn't it? How are you planning on paying for that $32 trillion, Bernie Sanders? I know, raise the taxes. The Medicare for All plans pushed by Bernie Sanders, and endorsed by host of the Democratic congressional and presidential hopefuls, would increase the government health care spending by $32.6 trillion over 10 years, according to a new study. Well, you know, that's only $3.26 trillion a year. That's not too bad. Joke. The Vermont Center has avoided conducting his own cost analysis, and those supporting the plan have at times struggled to explain how they could pay for it. The study, released on Monday by the Mercedes Center at George Mason University, showed the plan would require historical tax increases. The hikes would allow the government to replace what the employees and consumers currently pay for health care, delivering significant savings on administration and drug costs, but increased demand for care that would drive up spending, according to the report. According to the report, the legislation for federal health care commitments would reach approximately 10.7 GDP by 2022 and rise to nearly 12.7 of the GDP by 2031. But the study conducted by the Senator Research Australia's Charles Buchan said that those estimates were on the conservative side. Alright, I'm not going to go into the full study thing, guys. Look, at the end of the day, I could possibly see this costing $32.6 trillion over the next 10 years.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. What's the population of Australia? What, 26 million, 27 million?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, no.
Vaguely something like that. And
I would say if you can take maybe... I would say if you just take 30 seconds, just maybe check something's not killing your internet, because you're a bit bad for me, and the stream buffers a lot lately.
Yeah, it's been doing that ever since we talked about the goat.
Yeah, it's bad for me as well. There might be something on your internet there.
No, it's I'm not doing. I haven't loaded any web pages or anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's weird
how
that happened. But anyway.
Let me check for you.
26 million, I think it is 27 million. But what's our cost for the Medicare for our local systems? Like, at the end of the day, yeah, I could definitely see this costing $32 trillion and over 10 years. And that's over 10 years, obviously. 3.26 trillion a year, roughly. And at the end of the day, my question for him, how are you planning on feeding this? How are you planning on fixing this problem? Or how are you planning on paying for all this? So, yeah. Dude, I think I got a copyright strike on playing that video. Let me check. I'm just loading up the thing now. No. Alright.
What the hell?
What?
Why is it gone Reptile Handler on the stream?
Yeah, no, that was me.
The hell is going on now?
That was me. That was me.
Okay.
I selected it. I'm going to close a few of those windows, guys, because that is might be, I don't know, causing problems. So yeah, okay. That closed a few windows, so let's see if that makes it any better. I think they might have tried to give me a copyright strike for playing that video. That's what I think. But anyway, let's keep going and let's just see how it goes. I've also dropped the bit rate too to compensate. But yeah, I definitely can see this costing $32.6 trillion. And definitely, yeah, I think Bernie Sanders definitely would run up a huge bill bringing in this socialized system. You look at Australia's. We are having the exact same. We have the same system here pretty much, and look what it costs us for our population.
Yeah, I mean, our socialized healthcare worked properly. You know, a while back. It's been getting too expensive for the government lately.
Yeah, well, the magic number is 50. When you hit around 50 million, that's when you start having too many people in unemployment, not enough people in the workforce, and you just you basically start running into really big bills to run a socialized system. You got to remember too, not all of your population is adults, so you know half your population roughly will be kids, schools, stuff like that. So at 50 million, roughly what, say 30 million are adults, say 20 million are kids. Out of that, 15 million are female, 15 million are male, roughly. You know, at the end of the day, this is where you start getting into problems with socialized systems, let alone having 300 million like what America has. So, yeah.
Well, we have insurance now. Like, you know, we have health insurance companies now.
Yeah.
And we could start, you know, companies could start offering health insurance as part of packages like they do in America. You know, it works over there to some degree. I mean, nothing's perfect though. When it comes to healthcare in a country, nothing is perfect. I mean, Europe has its problems, America does have its problems, and we have ours. But at the end of the day, whatever it is that you pick, it has to be sustainable.
Yeah, I know. My internet's giving me the shit, guys, too. So yeah, I apologise for the stream. I believe yours is still going, isn't it? Yours is still fine.
Yeah, you're still streaming at the moment.
Yeah,
it's live. It buffers a little bit, but it's not too bad now.
Cool. All right. So yeah, let's go through, and as you said that it just closed. But anyway, so we do want to talk about Intel, but we might leave that towards the end. So I'll drop that back there, and yeah, let's
not bore everyone with tech news.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tech news. Yeah, you want to do it, or you want to talk about it later?
We won't bore everyone yet.
All right. Yeah, let's go some of the fun articles, and let's see if we can keep the stream up and running. Danish Imam calls for the final solution. Jihad necessitates the Muslim invasion and conquest of Europe. I'm glad they're a peaceful religion, isn't it? But let's jump into it. Something of something. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. Of the something of something mosque in Copenhagen is calling for a new Islamic conquest of Al-Hadaris, I might be mispronouncing, the Balkans, the Rome, and the fulfillment to promise of the Prophet Muhammad. Jihad necessitates the Muslim invasion and conquest of Europe. Abdallah told his followers the final solution to the problem of the Levant after the establishment of the Caliphate and the elimination of the, oh my god, I should have read this article, the Jewish entity will be through the conquest of Europe. Oh boy. Jews are hasting their own annihilation by ramping their filth and their villainous, which reflect the immutable nature of the Jews. Holy shit. The EM added that he is not racist, but that has to do with the Jewish character and the psyche that is sick Jewish mentality.